Greetings. Welcome, part 3. It's an exciting day for me today. It's a brand new year. It's January 2011. It's January 10th today. And just probably the last month or so I've learned how to even put things on YouTube. I've been watching YouTube forever. And these amazing little cameras can even do that. And so I'm thankful to be here. And part of my life, part of my gifts are music and art, but my spiritual gifts has all been preaching and teaching, and grew up in the Lutheran faith, Christian faith. I was a Lutheran pastor for 25 years. I was a full-time Lutheran pastor, which included 6 years as a full-time campus pastor at St. Cloud State University, working with university students. So a lot of exciting ministry, musical ministry, planting churches in Chicago and St. Cloud, and just really neat. And then 4 years ago, due to my recovery, my own personal recovery from alcoholism, I went through treatment, and I've had over 4 years of sobriety and growing active sobriety, I guess you could say, and have been kind of reinventing my life along with my wife Joan, our 2 grown children who are married at this time. And I guess a big part for me is the whole idea of, part of my reinvention of my life was to spend 15 months, 1,500 hours as a chaplain intern at St. Cloud Hospital. And part of that intern recovery was working with men and women in recovery for some of my internships for semesters. And I completed those 4 units of 400 hours each over 15 months. And since then, I've been working for over 3 years now, steady, with men and women in recovery for drug and alcoholism. It's a wonderful life, and it's very difficult. It's very challenging. It tests me a lot. I don't work full-time. I don't think I could work full-time because it's a high burnout job, but I do the best I can, and I think I do a good job for averaging about 3-4 days a week I do work. And part of my last 3 years have been to work on a book about recovery, which this will be the year 2011 that I published that book, whether it's been helping from other publishers financially for me to do it, or whether it be self-publishing through my own means. Doesn't matter. God will bless it. He has blessed it, and He'll see it through, and it's a lot of surprises are on the way. And probably the biggest truth I've learned over the years through not only my recovery, but also through that, and this is a big part of my book, and that is that we all go through struggles, whether you're a recovering alcoholic, whether you're a workaholic, whether you're a perfectionist, whether you're struggles with gambling, smoking, I don't know. And I don't want to minimize anything or try to say that a heroin drug addict is exactly the same as being a workaholic. All I'm saying is whatever you do in your life, sometimes when you get stressed, that you medicate in certain ways, perhaps, maybe excesses, extremes, and we're all learning that balance, aren't we? And that's all. I don't think you have to be a drug addict or recovering alcoholic to understand that, or to grow in that. And so I'm excited about that growth and new life in our lives, and letting the Spirit's light, however you define the Spirit, letting that light shine through us. And so the most amazing truth I've learned over the years, and I think it goes on different levels for me, spirituality. I've considered myself a spiritual person all my life. I'm 57 years old, and from my baptism all the way through now, and sometimes I've gone astray for sure. And maybe it's just a different part of my journey, experiencing things that I've been able to reincorporate into my life, like Eastern mysticism and yoga and other things like that, Zen. But the biggest truth I've learned in the last few years especially is that God doesn't just want to put us back together again the way we used to be, no matter what struggles we've been through, grief, loss, issues, whatever they are. God doesn't just want to put us back together again. He wants to take all the pieces of our lives, if you want to call them broken pieces or just segmented pieces, whatever it is, God wants to take all those pieces, and in other words, maybe by the faith we've been given by the Spirit, that faith, whatever pieces we're able to find and recognize and pick up and take them, and then give them back to God as we understand God, well, however that God is for you. And we're all growing in that understanding of God for sure, because we're not God. Remember the movie Rudy? Remember? Rudy's trying to get accepted in Notre Dame football, and he visits with the clergy, with the priest, and the priest tells him, I know two things. One, that there is a God, and number two, that I'm not him. Or it, or whatever you want to call it, to be sensitive. But basically, the bottom line is that I believe that whatever we can give back to God as we understand God, all these pieces of our lives, broken or not broken, just scattered things, and give it back. And God is that master artist, the master potter, the master creator. And He'll take them and He'll on His divine potter's wheel, so to speak, and He'll create something out of all this stuff in our lives, stuff that we would think would be the worst things possible that we've been through. He'll take all that and He'll make something brand new. He'll make a brand new creation out of it. Think about that. I know that takes a lot of faith, but I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in thousands of people's lives over their 25 years plus of ministry. Now it's really 29 years of ministry with chaplaincy and working with men and women in recovery. I've seen the Spirit take all this stuff, even when people have been through multiple treatments and lost. In fact, I hear this every week at my meetings I go to, my recovery meetings. And somehow God takes all this and makes something brand new out of it. And the most beautiful thing is making something that we could have never been if we'd never been through the hard times, the struggles, if you want to call it brokenness or whatever. We're becoming something we never could be. Not just putting back together Humpty Dumpty, because all the king's horses and all the king's men can't do that. But something we could never have been without having gone through those struggles. I know that takes a lot of faith, but isn't it nice that we don't have to provide that faith? That's the gift. That's what faith's about. It's given to us. It's like grace. It's graces. It's spiritual. And that is what God is doing in my life today. In the midst of this winter now, still snowing, central Minnesota. My hands are starting to get cold, but I like this three-season porch. It's raw. It's right here. It's right now. And thank you for being right here and right now too. So bless you and keep you. I like that blessing. Make God's face shine upon you, be gracious unto you. May God lift up His countenance upon you and give you His peace. Take care.